All right, welcome back to math today. We are continuing on with fractions. Actually, we're doing exactly the same thing we did yesterday. So we are simplifying fractions. Another way to say that is reducing fractions, okay? Another way to say that is putting fractions in lowest terms. I'm going to write all these up here because when I was your age, that confused me a bit. So you can simplify. Okay, that's what we've been doing. You can also call that reducing. When you reduce something, you make it smaller, bring it down. And we can also call it simplest form. Oh, this simple form. Okay, so when your directions say, write the fraction in its simplest form, reduce the fraction, simplify your fraction, that all means the same thing, okay? So don't forget that. I will erase our words. But our directions say, write each fraction in simplest form, then write another equivalent fraction. Okay, so let's start up here on number 1. So they have already done some of the steps for us. This compared to yesterday, this part should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. So we had 6/9. Okay, before we look at that, when we want to reduce a fraction, let's jump back into what we did yesterday. What are we trying to figure out? What are we trying to do? Hayden?
Make it simpler.
Make it simpler. So we divide it, right? When we divide the fraction, do we have to make sure the top and bottom number is the same that we're dividing by? Okay. So for 6/9, could I divide the top and bottom both by 2?
No.
Think real hard before you answer. Raise your
Wait,
hands. Shh. Noah?
No, because 9 is not even.
9's an odd number, so 2 won't work. However, 3 works really well. So if I divide 6 by 3 and 9 by 3, let's write our answers on this line, okay? So 6/9 divided by 3 over 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. Can I simplify that any further?
No.
Nope. I can't think of any common factor that 2 and 3 have. We're done. All right. Now the next step with the same fraction, they want us to find an equivalent fraction. So remember, eyes up here, brains on. To find an equivalent fraction, all you do is multiply your fraction by the same number top and bottom. Or technically you can divide by the same number. So they already picked our number. They said we're going to multiply the top and bottom by 3 to find an equivalent fraction. So let's do it. Everyone on your paper, 6 times 3, find that answer, and then 9 times 3. So it is important that you can keep those separate. We should know when they want us to simplify, we're trying to make our fraction very simple, smaller numbers. When we want an equivalent fraction, it can be anything in the world. Remember, we get to pick the number. It just means that it shows the same amount of the whole. So 6/9 is equivalent to 18/27, and it's equivalent to 2/3. They all show the same amount of the whole. So for all of these, we have to simplify the fraction, and then we'll also find an equivalent fraction. So let's do number 2. Number 2, we have 8/10, and they want us to simplify it. Okay, all of you on your paper, go ahead and do it. They already picked our number for us. All right, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And I'm thinking about 4 and 5. I don't have any common factors. I can't divide it by 2 because 2 isn't a factor of 5. So am I done?
Yeah.
Yep, that's as simple as it goes. All right, now down here, remember, we're just finding an equivalent fraction. So we could multiply by any number we want right here, but they picked 3 for us. So go ahead and do your math and find your equivalent fraction. Check my work, make sure I'm doing it correctly. Put a 3 here. All right, I'm getting some thumbs ups. I think I'm right. Okay. We're going to do one more of these as an example. But these aren't too bad because they're giving you all your numbers, right? And I think the hardest part of reducing is figuring out what number to divide by. So let's do one more of these and then we'll try something a bit harder. Madeline?
Can I sharpen my pencil?
Yes, real quick. Angie?
Number 8 looks pretty hard.
All right, why don't I scooch down to number 8? All right. 1 second, people at home.
It doesn't feel
Let's go check out number 8.
What is this? And number 9.
All right. Number 8. Okay, we have 15/20ths. That's our fraction we're starting with. We need to reduce it. So before I even looked at all this, I was already thinking about 5 in my head. Were any of you thinking I can divide those both by 5?
Yeah.
We should be, right? So that's the number they picked. So let's go ahead and do our division. Okay, we've got 15 divided by 5 and 20 divided by 5. Check my work, make sure I got the same answer you did. And I can't think of any way to reduce that any further. That is as simple as we can get. Okay, now we need to find an equivalent fraction. And they picked our number for us, so we're multiplying by 3. So, 15 times 3. The reason this is a little trickier is just because it's beyond our math facts, right? Can we still do 15 times 3? Yeah. Okay, and the way I like to think of 15s, do you guys remember, what are 2 15s? How many is that? 30. So if I have 3 groups of 15, could I start at 30 and add on 15 more to make 3 groups? Okay. If that confused you, well, you could just do 15 times 3. All right. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So if you did mental math, or if you did it this way, or you could have repeat addition 15, 15, 15. However you got your answer, 15 times 3 is 45.
How did you get 4?
Here,
No,
this one? Okay, so 3 times 5 is 15, right? Carry my 1, drop down my 5. 3 times 1 is 3. Remember, we have to add the 1. Remember? So 3 plus 1 would be 4. So 15 times 3 is 45. All right, my bottom number, I've got 20 times 3. Let's do our 0 trick. Remember, cover up your 0. 2 times 3 is 6.
60.
Put my 0 back. All right, so that's not simplified at all, but that's not what they wanted, right? On this second line, we are finding an equivalent fraction. So we know 15 20ths, 3/4, and 45 60ths all represent the same amount of the whole thing. Okay, I am going to go to the other side of the paper. I think you guys can finish these on your own, so flip your page. And we are going to try some of these up here at the top. All right, our directions. Can somebody read the directions for me? The top of the other side. Hayden, nice and loud.
Reducing a fraction means to find the greatest common factor and divide directions. Reduce each fraction, circle the answer.
Okay, so all we're doing on this page, same thing we've been doing. We want to simplify or reduce our fractions. But instead of just writing the answer, they gave us 3 choices. We have to pick the one that's right. Okay? So let's take a look at this first one, 2/4. Now some of you might be getting pretty good at 2/4. Does anyone know off the top of their head how to simplify 2/4 simply in your brain? Noah?
Half.
It's 1/2, right? But I want to show us how to do the work so you always know how to do it. So everyone should be writing with me. Underneath each of these, before you just guess, I want you to write your fraction divided by whatever you choose to find your simplified form. Okay? That's the work I want to see for each of these. So on 2/4, let's see, I'm going to pick a victim. Madeline, what do I need to divide by on 2/4 to simplify?
2.
2. Perfect. And I've given a lot of hints, so make sure you've picked up on this. One really good trick, when you first start thinking, what can I divide by? I always check to see if I can divide my denominator by my numerator. If you can, that's the easiest way to do it. So can 2 go into 4? Yes. So we're going to use 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay? So we did know that one was 1/2, but we wanted to make sure. All right, let's try this one right below it. Okay, 4/12. I need you to show your work. So rewrite your fraction. Divided by something over something to equal your reduced fraction. All right. Now, does anyone remember the trick I just said? Josiah?
Can 4 go into 12? Yes, with 3.
Okay, so let's do 4. Okay, because if I can divide 4 by 4, I'll end up with a 1 here, and I know for sure I'm done. So let's use 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So on this next one, are you guys going to check to see if we can divide 24 by 3?
Yeah.
Can we?
Yes.
Let's do it. Last one I'm going to do with you up here. 3 24ths divided by 3/3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 24 divided by 3, I'm getting 8. So 1/8 is what we need to circle.
All of these have 1s in.
So that's not going to work for every single problem, but it will work for this one, right? 3 will go into 9, so divide them both by 3. Will that trick work on this one? I can't put more than 1 10 into 15, but I could probably use a 5, right? So you guys have great math minds. You know your factors. If you ever need to write out your factors to the side for your numbers, go for it, okay? So the very last thing, I'm going to go to the very bottom and go over the directions. It's not hard. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a challenge, okay? So let me erase this, slide my page, and I will explain the bottom. Yep, that's fine. All right, thank you. Bye. All right, just so everyone knows, Cash is coming to visit. We're going to continue to learn our lesson and stay quiet, okay? Okay, so we've got this large picture. So all of you at home, this is your practice you're going to be doing today as well, so make sure you're listening. Our directions say, find the way home. Okay, you start at your bicycle. You've gone on a long bicycle journey, maybe an odyssey across the nations, who knows. We need to get home, but there's only one correct route. Your directions, color the boxes with fractions equivalent to 1/8 and 1/3.
1/3.
If you find all the boxes that are equivalent to 1/8 or 1/3 and color them in, you will find your path home. Okay? So let's do a couple together. I am going to write 1/8 and 1/3 up here in big. So I recommend you do that too. Any fractions equivalent to those, when we simplify them, we're going to color them in. So let's just start with 4/9. Can we simplify 4/9? Abby, why not?
Because 3 doesn't go into 4.
And 9 is odd. We can't divide it by 2, right? Okay. So that one, we're not going to color it in. Hi, Cash buddy. Friends at home, we just got a visitor. Cash is joining us.
Where do you want him?
I will take him right up here while I'm looking.
He's so
Come
cute.
here, buddy. Come on, Cash. Do you want to say hi?
Call if he needs to pick you up.
Come here, Cashy. Hey, you want a treat? All right, friends at home, we have a visitor. I'm going to have him come up here so you can see him. Come here, Cash. There he is. Hi, Cash. Hi, Cash. Yeah, I'll give you one more. Now you got to sit down and chill. All right. We are almost done with this lesson, so we have decided, right, that we cannot simplify 4/9, right? When Cash is in here, you gotta keep listening. They know that we do a good job with them. That's why we get him a lot. Can we simplify 4/9?
No.
No. Okay, so what I'm gonna do to keep my head straight is just like scribble it out. Okay? That's not gonna work. I can't color that box. Uh-oh. more together. Shh, 2 more together. Let's look at 3/9. Can I divide 3/9 and simplify it so that it would either be 1/8 or 1/3? Josiah?
Yes, and it will be 1/3.
Okay, so here's how you can think of it. You can do teeny tiny division by 3/3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by
Is this
3
here?
is 3. Can you
Don't hurt the puppy.
take that out?
Don't hurt the puppy.
Thank you. All right. All right, so did this one reduce to 1/3?
Yeah.
Do we color that box? Yes, we do. So you will go through this entire thing. Your job is to find the route that gets you from your bicycle to your house. Okay?
Wait.
Can we use colored
Is 3/9?
No one's raised their hands. Emma?
Can we use colored pencils?
You can use colored pencils, crayons, whatever. Okay? That's
I
fine.
don't get the back at all, even if you explain it.
Okay, well, that wasn't, you said I don't get the back at all even if you explain it?
Because I mean, it's the, find the way thing that I know.
Okay, well, I will meet with you separately. All right, so everybody else, we're clear on our directions. Those of you at home, do your best on this. And when you are coloring in your spaces, you can just use your color tools on TeacherMade. I will see you soon.